I don't know how that will happen. Maybe if Hydra takes us to takes route up to 3, and then some Korean players from mYinsanity come out or something like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But let's see for now who our players are and where they are spawning up in the top side of the map. The 12 o'clock position here on Varney Research Station, ladies and gentlemen. Petraeus. And down to the south side we have the Red Zerg player from Root Gaming, ladies, gentlemen. Hydra. Alright guys, so how is everyone doing here tonight? Another fine ZVZ for us to feast our eyes upon. Hopefully we'll take more, take after game 2 more than game 1 of this series again. Game 1 was one of those games you just tend to like to forget about, right? Like at the end of the day, just yeah, we'll just pretend that one didn't really ever happen. You know, those games are what make StarCraft so fun though, the depth of strategy, the different choices you can make, and sometimes the different choices you can make can straight up just lead to you losing. Hydra once again here, opens safely. Pool first is going to be the choice of play for him to start things off. So that spawning pool coming down in the back of this mineral line. And we do have a hatchery coming down in the natural expansion as well for Petraeus. It's a hatchery first. He's now going to follow that up with his spawning pool as Hydra takes his own hatchery. It's pretty much all standard here at the start of this CVZ. No early pools to worry about, and we'll just be watching Overlords come across the map for the next few moments here. Going to be an extractor coming up for Petraeus, and with this, going to be looking to head into some Zergling speed fairly early into this game compared to Hydra, who once again just going to be going for this gasless opening. It would seems to enjoy this. I think Hydra always a big favourite of the gasless openers, so we'll see how it goes for him here against Petraeus. Hey Musty, how's it going, man? How you doing, bro? It's good to see you at Gamers Assembly. Good to find someone else who didn't speak French. Right? That was it's kind of crazy, like literally no one, well, you know, like having been, because I went to Paris and stuff before Gamers Assembly, like the amount of times I just was stuck because I didn't speak any French at all was amazing, absolutely incredible. We're following an Overlord here, but we actually have a couple of lings in the base of Petraeus, trying to chase down a drone, but he will be able to repel these, and Hydra just going to have to pull them back for now. He got the scout off though, and again, the scout is the main thing you're looking for with this these initial 2 Zerglings, and confirming that the gas is up for your opponent. He will also have seen that there's only going to be 100 gas, and he's going to pull out straight away after that. So Hydra knows exactly what he's up against right now, and I think Petraeus has a pretty good idea of what he's going up against as well. He hasn't actually been in here and seen the gasless play, but he's going to take a very fast third base. And again, this is sort of exactly what you want to do against a gasless opening of your opponent. You want to take your third base a little bit sooner, because there's no way they can really punish it. There's no way they can stop it from going up. They don't have, you know, unless they're going to mass slow lings and attack you with those, which realistically is just not going to be the case. So this Zergling is backing off a little bit here. A couple of lings continuing to try and chase this down. A couple of Koreans starting to go onto that Overlord as well, and just work their way on that. And Hydra can take that down. Will be a nice little spot here to maybe, I mean, I'd say, you know, do something surprising and move across the map with a bunch of lings. That's what we saw. Who was doing that earlier? I think it was Snoot doing it in a couple of his CVZs, always sniping that forward Overlord, and then with his and then just sending his, like, you know, massing up a few speed lanes, sending them across the map, and seeing what he can get done with them. We're starting to see the difference here between Petraeus and Zervas in the way that they try and deal with this. So Petraeus is actually still going to drop down that Bane nest. He's got a few more lings on the way as well right now. A couple of Queens chasing down another Overlord, and Petraeus will lose now the second Overlord of this game, with a lot of these lings coming across the map. And Hydra hasn't really seen these. He hasn't really got the best of vision. A couple of lings will start working their way against the third base here. But Hydra really has no clue at all. He's actually got a couple of queens out of position. He's got one queen left on the high ground, but he's lost his queens which have transfused, and that's a little bit problematic here, as now what does he really have? He's actually going to start walling in, but there's just a gap over to the other side, and Hydra's in a lot of trouble all of a sudden. He really wasn't expecting this, he really wasn't prepared, and he actually has to pull drones against this. This was the last thing he was expecting. Here comes some slow lings for him. His roach warren is now finished, I think, in the back, so he can start making some roaches. He loses a few drones, though. It's not over yet, and with banelings on the way, this is going to continue for a few more moments here, and, well... he needs to kind of do something to block this side. He's just about going to get an evolution chamber up in time. As these banelings, are they just going to bust through? Yes, they are. I mean, Petraeus has more zerglings coming across the map here at all times. He's going to try and block off once again with another evolution chamber. First roaches are coming out here, but oh, 12 workers now killed. Roaches coming up, and they will help a lot as another evolution chamber is going to get potentially killed off here. These roaches going to get surrounded by these zerglings as well. Hydra still just about holding on, but here comes another wave of banelings. These drones are just going to scatter. They're going to head over towards the third base instead. A queen coming in from the natural as well, and with that queen, he's going to be able to try and just help pick off a couple of banelings before they get close enough to the drones to actually blow up on them. As these roaches are starting to clean this up, and Hydra can potentially stabilize from this. He did a lot of damage to this third base with those two zerglings which we saw previously, and right now, I mean, he can't, Petraeus can't actually come up this ramp anymore, but he's got himself into a fantastic position. Roach warren is just about to finish up for himself. He doesn't have any upgrades, so he will be behind in that regard. He'll be fighting against the better upgrades of Hydra, but he sits at a 9-worker lead. He killed off a bunch of the queens of Hydra as well, and without those queens, Hydra can't get as many lava as he would like up and going, so he's just redrawing right now. Going to try and catch up in the worker count a little bit. He's actually going to catch a couple of these lings here, and again, he doesn't have a lair, so he doesn't have rich speed, but he does have 1-1, and that means he can get through these lings pretty darn fast. He's going to move across the map here. A few more roaches are actually not on the way. In fact, nothing on the way here for Hydra, and he's actually having to turn around with his roaches, realizing that this counter-attack just has too much potential to do damage. He will actually try and grab a couple of kills there, but Petraeus is going to be able to run away over to the right-hand side. And, well, these zerglings just going to move northbound and sit more in the middle of the map for a little while here instead. Third hatchery going to try and come down here for Hydra. Does he really have enough to defend it, though, against this many zerglings? The zerglings are going to come in once again, and just a single roach on that high ground to hold position and shut up the gap in the wall. And right now, because of the lack of a lair for Hydra, he still hasn't started his +2/+2, so because of this, Petraeus is actually starting to catch up in these upgrades a little bit. His roach speed starts as well. He still sits at a 9-worker lead in this game. And again, it all started with him just hiding these initial zerglings, moving across the map. Hydra just had no idea about it. He was droning, he was caught completely off guard. His queens, which had transfuses, were killed off on the low ground. So the one queen that was blocking the wall got killed off very quickly. There's no transfuses to keep the spine crawler alive. And now Petraeus is starting to run away with this game a bit. I mean, he's up on 20 roaches against 15. His opponent's got 25 lings as well. He has a bane in there, so if he wants to, he could just go for a big roach bane timing, which is probably not really going to happen. I imagine he's going to keep on going for it, but in general, the lings will be great for tanking, and even if he does, you know, he can always make them into banelings if he feels like the opportunity is there, if he keeps them alive for long enough into the game. Overseer for Hydra just going to be hiding for now. Again, he'll want to come and try and hit the +1 or +2 upgrade at some point to try and deny that for a little while, but he doesn't quite know where it is just yet. I don't think he doesn't know it's over here in the natural expansion. That's moving across the map right now. Petraeus is going to go for this timing. What are the roach numbers looking like? 36 to Petraeus, 21 for Hydra, and they keep on rising. Of course, there's all these zerglings here as well to do that little bit of extra tanking, and Hydra, he doesn't have the 2/2 upgrades just yet, which is kind of what he really needs. He just needs something, anything right now. These zerglings starting to come in, and Hydra is going to try and kite backwards and just do whatever he can. He's got 3 reinforcements on the way, but surely Petraeus just has way too much right now, and it looks as though Petraeus is going to take down Hydra, the Korean circler. He's going to fall here, and Root Gaming all of a sudden in a little bit of trouble. Petraeus takes the game number 3, and mYinsanity retake the lead here in this series. Root loses.